He sent the police a coded message. Inside it he claimed was his name. That was 1969. No one has ever decoded it. Until now maybe. The year is 1968. Northern California. A couple is parked at a lover's lane outside Vallejo. It's dark and quiet. Then headlights. A car pulls up. A man gets out. He doesn't say a word. He opens fire. Both victims are shot multiple times. The girl dies. The boy somehow survives. Police arrive within minutes. The killer is already gone. No fingerprints. No motive. No face. Just shell casings and silence. That attack was just the beginning. Over the next 2 years, this man would kill at least 5 people. He would wound to more. And some investigators believe the real number is much higher. He called himself the Zodiac. And unlike most killers, he wanted you to know about it. On August 1st, 1969, 3 newspapers received letters on the same morning. The San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, the Vallejo Times-Herald. Each letter contained a detailed account of the murders. Details only the killer could know. But that wasn't all. Each letter also contained a piece of a cipher. A coded message split into 3 parts. The killer demanded the newspapers print the ciphers on their front pages, or else he would go on a killing rampage. They complied, and the public went into a frenzy. The first cipher, 408 characters long, was cracked within days. Not by the FBI, not by the CIA, by a high school history teacher and his wife. Donald and Betty E. Hardin sat at their kitchen table and decoded it themselves. What did it say? Quote, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." He went on to describe how the people he killed would become his slaves in the afterlife. He said he would not give his name because it would slow down his collecting of slaves. This was not a man hiding. This was a man performing. Over the next 3 years, the Zodiac sent at least 20 confirmed letters. Some contained more ciphers. Some contained pieces of bloody clothing to prove the kills were real. One letter included a piece of a murder victim's shirt. He even sent letters directly to homicide detectives, mocking them, telling them they were too slow. In one letter, he wrote, "I am not afraid of the gas chamber." He signed every letter with a crosshair symbol. His own logo. A brand. A serial killer with a brand. Law enforcement was desperate. The Zodiac operated across multiple counties: Solano, Napa, San Francisco. Each jurisdiction had its own department. They didn't always share information. The killer used that gap. He moved between counties like he knew the blind spots. And maybe he did. There was one moment where police had him. October 11th, 1969. San Francisco. A cab driver named Paul Stein was shot in the head at point-blank range. The Zodiac walked away calmly with a piece of Stein's shirt. But 2 teenagers saw the whole thing from a window across the street. They called the police immediately. A patrol car arrived within minutes. Officers spotted a white male matching the description walking in the Presidio. They stopped him. They asked him if he'd seen anything suspicious. The man said yes, he'd just seen a man running with a gun. He pointed the officers in the wrong direction. They left. Later it was determined that man was almost certainly the Zodiac. The officers had spoken to him, face to face, and let him walk away. Time KINI. The witness sketches from that night became the most iconic image of the Zodiac. Heavy set, crew cut, glasses, dark jacket. That sketch has been compared to hundreds of suspects over the decades. None have ever been charged. The FBI investigated. The SFPD investigated. Private citizens investigated. There is an entire online community, thousands of people still working the case today. That's not unusual for cold cases. What's unusual is that one of the Zodiac ciphers wasn't cracked until 2020, 51 years later, by an amateur codebreaker in the United States with help from 2 others in Belgium and Australia. Working over the internet in their spare time, Here's what makes the Zodiac case different from other serial killers. Most killers want to stay hidden. The Zodiac wanted to be watched. He wasn't driven by compulsion alone. He was driven by ego. Every letter was a performance. Every cipher was a challenge. He wasn't running from law enforcement. He was playing with them. Forensic psychologists who have studied his letters say he shows classic traits of a narcissistic personality with sadistic elements. He craved control. He craved fear. Not just from his victims, from everyone. He wrote to newspapers claiming he had placed a bomb on a school bus. He described in detail how he planned to shoot the tires and pick off the children as they ran. No bomb was ever found. It was probably a bluff. But it worked. School buses in California got police escorts. An entire state lived in fear because of letters. Not just because of murders. Because of words. And here's the thing that truly haunts investigators. The letters stopped. After 1974, there were a few suspected letters. But the confident, taunting voice went quiet. Did he die? Did he move away? Did he simply stop satisfied? Or is it possible he kept killing and just stopped telling anyone? No one knows. That silence is perhaps the most frightening part of all. Over 2,500 suspects have been investigated. Not one has been conclusively identified. The case remains officially open. The San Francisco Police Department still lists it as an active investigation. The Zodiac Killer has never been caught. He may have died without ever being named. Or he may have been someone you'd never suspect. A neighbor. A coworker. Someone's father. We don't know. We may never know. But here's what we do know now. In December 2020, a team of amateur codebreakers cracked the Z13 Cipher. A message the Zodiac had sent in 1969. For 51 years it sat unsolved. When it was finally decoded, the world held its breath. Would it reveal his name? Would it give a location? Would it finally close the case? Here is what the message said. I hope you're having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner because I now have enough slaves to work for me. Nothing new. No name. No location. Just more taunting. Even in his coded messages he left nothing useful. He was meticulous. He was careful. And whoever he was, he outsmarted every investigator who ever came for him. There is one cipher, the Z13, that has never been cracked. It is only 13 characters long. The Zodiac implied it contained his real name. 13 characters. That's it. Codebreakers have spent decades on it. Some believe it can never be decoded without knowing the key he used. Others think the answer is still out there, waiting, hidden in plain sight. What the Zodiac understood before the internet, before social media, before viral culture, was that fear scales. One man, 5 confirmed victims, and an entire generation traumatized. Parents stopped letting their kids walk to school. Couples avoided being alone at night. An entire state changed its behavior for one man they couldn't even name. That is the true legacy of the Zodiac. Not the body count. The terror multiplier. He understood something predators rarely do. The scariest thing isn't what a killer does. It's what you imagine they might do next. The Zodiac case is still open. The FBI still accepts tips. And somewhere in an archive, in a database, in a box of old evidence, the answer may already exist. If you found this story as unsettling as we did, subscribe, because next time, we're covering a case even colder.